To home now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has signed the controversial National Credit Amendment Bill into law. It allows for heavily indebted consumers to have unsecured debt of up to 50,000 rand written off. To qualify, you must be earning less than 7,500 rand or be found to be critically indebted. The banking industry and the DA are strongly opposed to the debt relief measure. An economist, Bonke Dumisa, is in our Durban studio and now joins us live. Bonke, thank you so much for joining us. Are you fearful of what this act could lead to for those who can least afford it?
No, I am not at all fearful of what this act seeks to achieve. Because one thing which I can add, a certain perception is being created that this is something which is totally new. There are very few things which are new with this. This is the National Credit Amendment Act, and we have the current National Credit Act, which deals with these things. And currently, the debt rearrangement orders are being dealt with through Section 138 of the current Act. All this Act has done now, it has inserted a special Section 86A, which deals with, and Section 87A, which deal with situations where people who do not qualify for credit, for being applicants for this credit intervention, then can have a situation where they may have their debt suspended or extinguished, or a portion thereof, for a period of about 12 months, which may be extended for another 12 months, in order to allow the applicant the opportunity to be back on their feet and be able to deal with part of those obligations which they definitely could not attend to. So this is not a free-for-all thing. It's only for unsecured debts up to 50,000 rands and only for people who earn up to 7,000 rands. So this is not going to encourage people to be reckless in getting credit. So the people who are opposing this particular Act, I mean the National Credit Amendment Act, which was called the Debt Relief Bill, are simply overreacting. We do have to accept a situation that sometimes when people lose their jobs or things like that happen, you have to be flexible. You may have to choose between getting something out of that debt or losing it all if ever you insist then that you are not going to have any flexibility on that. So I am not fearful at all.
Well, the relief that it will bring to many South Africans who need it the most can definitely not be denied. But when it comes to the cost to the economy, do you have any idea of what it could cost the economy and indeed the credit market?
In fact, this is not going to cost the economy anything or the credit market. In fact, to the contrary, when people find then that they want to have a debt rearrangement order which can allow them to have their debt repayment extended, and the credit providers are simply not playing the game, those people simply disappear and they don't pay that debt at all. So under these conditions, then the credit providers at least assure them that something can be done which can make sure that they can still get their money later on, unless if ever the debt has been extinguished, and that will happen only under very limited circumstances. So I believe people are overreacting. If ever we had this particular debt relief provision dealing with people who are super rich and who have got a lot of money but who are abusing their money, then I would understand why people must be up in arms. But this is to cater only for those people who find themselves in that situation of need where they have a debt of up to 50,000 rands and not more than that, and they find then that there's no way in which they can deal with this. So it gives some options on how the debt can be rearranged, can be extended, and the interest rate may be reduced etc. This thing is already happening, I must state it. It's just that it was not really written. The National Consumer Tribunal, on a monthly basis, is dealing with thousands and thousands of the state debt rearrangement orders. And the credit industry has been empowered rather than being disadvantaged by that. So this just solidifies that, and it makes things much easier, and the National Credit Regulator is going to be involved more. I think South Africans must learn to stop moaning about everything. Let us look at the bad and the good side of everything and see how we can optimize on the good side of that. You had many intelligent people in Parliament who applied their mind to this Credit Amendment Act.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. So for economist Bonke Dumisa, the glass is very much half full and not half empty.